Okay, so it looked like it was over here. Was it down here? Yeah, it looks like it's down this alley. Okay. What do we got here? Oh. Yep, there are the gawkers.
What are all these people doing here, Holmes?
Apparently, they came to see
They're doing the same thing.
crime.
Yeah,
What
we're
about
here
us?
for.
Aren't we going to see it?
We will return this evening, Watson.
Just like
The
you said earlier.
circumstances should be
Yeah.
ideal for carrying out our little experiments.
I guess it also helps that we'll be returning
Well,
at the same
Watson,
time
we're
that the
at
murder
scene
took
of the
place.
Polly Nichols murder. Imagine the
Gotcha.
victim lying at the spot where she was found and try to discern all of the clues we can.
Okay.
Watson, you are a writer. I am therefore entrusting you with our deduction board.
Deduction
It will help
board.
us to establish certain facts.
Okay.
Understood, Holmes.
That's something new. All right. So, okay. So they have it drawn out. Oh, God. So is this supposed to be like in our imagination? Okay. So what can we investigate around here? What's this? Oh, just some folks getting some
This
midnight
spot is
smooching.
deserted, Holmes. The prostitutes only come here to exercise.
Hey, they're getting their work done. Okay. The prostitutes. Oh, so this is the deduction board. Okay, cool. Wow, this is interesting. This is like a very distinct new addition to this. Okay, so does it only go here? I guess once I put it down, it's gone, right? What about here? Okay, nothing down here yet. Okay. Anything over here?
This spot is deserted.
Yeah.
Holmes.
Bucks Row.
Okay, so this is the street. I'm just trying to make sure that we don't miss anything. We have something on the wall here. Oh,
No signs of blood.
no signs of blood on the wall.
No marks on the ground.
Hmm.
The ground is muddy.
Interesting. We kind of have an advantage here because we saw this is the murder we saw in the opening scene, right? Okay. So there's a whole bunch we need to investigate with the body. What is this?
There is only one streetlight lit on this street, Watson.
Okay,
and this
so it's
spot
pretty
is
poorly lit
particularly
around here.
poorly lit.
Gotcha. Okay. So wait, where does this all go? Oh, geez. Yeah, this stuff is kind of interesting because it reminds me of stuff that comes in much later Sherlock games where you're putting together facts. It's so interesting playing these kind of in a quasi-release order because it lets you see how the series evolves in really cool ways. Okay. So
The body was lying on its back, legs straight and slightly apart. The skirt had been lifted up to the middle of the body. The left hand
Jeez.
was touching the barn door.
And this is a
The body
brutal
was
death.
still warm. Let's reread the preliminary report for the details on the wounds inflicted upon this poor woman.
Okay. We already read that, right? What is it? This help inventory. Oh, okay, so we can read it here. Where did that go? Dialogue? No. Documents? Yes. Okay. We got that. Don't have anything in our notes. Whoa, our deduction board is getting pretty full though. So wait, do I have to pick which ones the no? Oh, they automatically magnetize. Okay. All right, so we got something here. What is this? Dirty and damp ground. Oh, do we have to pick? Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is cool because this is something that gets evolved and fleshed out in later Sherlock games. So he could not have had relations on the ground. The murderer threw water on the ground, and there were relations. He could not have had relations on the ground, I think. Anything down here? Oh, geez, there's all sorts of stuff here. So there's no footsteps on the ground. The corpse was still warm, so is that... Okay, yeah, they just automatically fill in. Okay, so the corpse is still warm. There were no footsteps on the ground, and the murderer cut open Polly Nichols' throat. What do we deduce from this? The victim wasn't dragged. I guess we know that because we saw it. She wasn't dragged. Oh, and then we get one over onto the right here. Interesting. So, took place in the daytime, took place on the premises, or the murderer moved her here. Well, it's got to be on the premises, right? Yeah. Wait, hold on. Okay, so it's green if it's correct. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Okay. So, can we investigate?
Look at
Oh,
this poor woman more
God.
closely.
That is grisly. Okay.
The throat was slit from left to right. There are two
From left to
incisions.
right. Okay, that supports the idea that they're left-handed. What do
There's
we
a
have here?
bruise at the level of the right maxilla.
Okay, so this is the one that's below the right throat, and that means there's
a
one.
bruise
Yes.
on the left cheek.
Gotcha.
There's a bruise on the left cheek.
Okay. Anything about the eyes?
The tongue is swollen.
Ah, the tongue is swollen.
A small pool of blood, 6 inches in diameter.
Okay. Anything about the clothes that we can see? Anything else on the body here? I'm not seeing anything. All right, it's green. Oh,
There
what do we
is a
have
black
here?
bonnet near the left hand.
Oh, she
Well,
did
Watson,
mention about
we
the
have found
hat in
all
the
the
newspaper
possible
story.
clues, I think. We will now attempt to recreate the scene of the murder.
Oh, we're
Come
recreating the
closer,
murder
Watson.
scene.
I have to make you up.
Oh, no.
You are joking, Holmes?
Holmes is always turning Watson into the corpse, isn't he?
I
Oh my
feel
God.
ridiculous, Holmes.
What? You look great, buddy. You look great.
Now, Watson, come and
Okay.
stand here in front of me. You shall play the role of the poor woman.
Interesting,
and I
because we
shall play
did
that of
watch
the
how this
murderer.
happened, so I
Let's
wonder if
try to
that'll make this
reconstruct the
easier.
facts to ensure the final result corresponds indisputably to the way that Polly
Okay.
Nichols was
Okay.
killed.
So how's this going to play out? Oh, interesting. It's like a timeline. Okay. So, so the stand up and lying position. Okay, we definitely remember it starting where he was standing up. Neck. Okay, he was definitely standing in front. I'm trying to remember the video now, or the cutscene. So he was standing in front. He grabbed her mouth with his left hand.
This position is unlikely.
So am I swapping the hands then? Like so?
Yes, it's quite possible the events occurred like this.
Yes. So the left hand went over the face. That's right. And then the right hand cut the throat from left to right. Gotcha. Okay. So then what else do we get? What else is there here? We go to the deduction board? Oh, geez. Okay, we got a whole bunch more stuff. Okay. Where does this go? Okay. Goes down there. That goes up there. It's here. Okay. Okay, a black bonnet near the left hand. It's a poorly lit street, and the prostitutes only go down there to exercise. Or deduction. The victim was holding her bonnet in her hand at the time of the murder. The bonnet was already on the ground. The victim wasn't cold. I'm going to guess she was holding it, right? The victim was asking for alms. The victim wasn't afraid. The victim collected the bonnet from the ground. I guess she wasn't afraid because it seems like this was like, you know, a customer. So what can we deduce from that? She wasn't cautious. She didn't have a bonnet. Or she had the bonnet in her hand and was ready to exercise. I think, yes, that's the correct deduction. I mean, we know this because we saw the opening scene. I guess this is, again, like an easy, like, softball throw of an opening deduction. Okay, so no traces of blood on the walls, and the victim had her throat slit. What can we get from that? The wall was washed. I mean, not necessarily. Maybe. The killer slit the victim's throat quietly. That seems true. The victim didn't have her throat slit while standing. Oh. Huh. Interesting. I'm not quite sure about any of these. So it's maybe either this one or this one. I don't think the wall was washed. That seems like too much effort. What about this? What do we got here? A little pool of blood means what? The blood didn't flow in strong spurts. Yeah, that makes sense. The murderer wanted to drain the victim of her blood. No. So not strong spurts. That makes sense. So there's dirty and damp ground. He could not have had relations on the ground. Yeah. Okay. What about this one? The victim had her throat slit while didn't have. I think no. It would have to be on the ground, right? Okay, what do we have here? She wasn't killed here, or Polly Nichols was dead before being stretched out and having her throat slit. She was killed by having her throat slit, but... Interesting, I'm not sure about this. Okay, what about down here? Oh, geez, we got a whole bunch of stuff here, too. Okay, that goes to the blue. That goes to that one. That goes to here. Okay, so what can we get from here? The tongue is bloated. The throat was slit from left to right. Okay, so what does that do here? She was strangled. Okay, so that's correct. I was like, I'm trying to remember the video now. The victim has a bruise on the right jawbone. The murderer beat the victim. The bruise was caused by hard pressure with the fingers. The murderer gagged the victim by gripping tightly. I guess it'd be hard pressure with the fingers, right? Because the handprint would match the bruises, right? Okay, the murderer was standing in front of the victim to strangle her. What does this mean? The killer's right hand prevented the victim from screaming. No, it was the left hand. There were relations while standing up. The killer's left hand. It would have to be the left hand, right? because then the right hand was used to cut from left to right. So what is this then? The killer strangled the victim with his right hand. The killer strangled, no, with the left hand. Yeah. So what are we missing here? Is there anything else we can do? What about here? What is this? Oh, it's the second half of this. So this is where he got out the knife. And the knife was in the right hand? And
I hope that, as with the real murder, nobody had to witness all of that, Watson. If the murderer used his right hand astride his victim, there wasn't much room.
Okay. So, is that correct? Did we get new deductions from this? Okay, so this we haven't got right, but did we get anything here? No. Interesting. What did we get wrong here? So no traces of blood on the walls. The victim had her throat slit. The victim didn't have her throat slit while standing. Maybe it's quietly? No, it's not. She didn't have her throat slit while she was standing. It was on the ground. That is for sure. There's a little pool of blood. The blood didn't flow in strong spurts. Dirty and damp. There were relations. Oh, no, there were not. Could not have had relations on the ground. Okay, so P. Nichols was dead before being stretched out and having her throat slit. So she was already dead from suffocation. Interesting. Oh, is that the hint with the... So what are we missing here? Yeah, why isn't this deducing anything? Okay, so is this not right? Or is it like this?
The murderer had enough room to inflict the wounds to the neck, and these wounds suggest the left hand was used.
Okay, so he's left-handed. So he cut it with the left hand. Yeah, okay.
My dear Watson, now that we have found all of our clues,
Oh god, you're
but
too
subject
close.
them to our most
Personal
likely
space.
hypotheses in order to deduce the facts.
The facts. Okay, so what is this? Oh, so this is the last thing we're missing. The murderer must have been sitting on the victim the murderer must have been sitting on the victim, comma, knife in the left hand or right. So this would be right hand. Left-handed. No, sorry. It's don't know if they're left. Oh, wait, left-handed. The victim strangled the... I'm trying to remember now. Hold on. No. Left hand, okay. The murderer must have been sitting on the victim, knife in the left or right hand. So this is a question. Okay. What is this deduction? He doesn't seem like a big man. He seems like a strong man, though. That's wrong. Is it wrong because this is wrong? So we got something down the chain wrong here. Okay, so the bruises were caused by hard pressure with the fingers. That I'm pretty sure of, because they look like handprints. The killer strangled the victim with his left hand. Ah, no, it's with his right hand.
Probably dead
Gotcha.
before being laid down.
There
Once
we go.
The heart stopped. Gravity drained the body slowly, not in heavy
Right,
spurts,
so
but
that's
with a
why
steady
there wasn't
heart's
heavy
beat.
spurts.
Thank you, Holmes.
Oh my God,
I
poor
understand
Watson.
why you told me not to change clothes.
Yeah,
Do you
looking a
realize
little
that
rough
our
there.
behavior didn't alarm anyone?
The victim's ordeal was even more
Right,
discreet.
right.
By acting in silence, we have confirmed something. The crime definitely took place here.
Yes,
The victim and
100%.
her murderer were able to come here without making any noise, and afterwards the murder took place without the slightest cry being uttered. Come, Watson, let's go home. We have spent far too long in this sinister alley.
Fair. Yeah, it's pretty dark and grim.
And so, my dear Watson, the day and night which we passed in Whitechapel were enlightening, weren't they?
Enlightening is one word,
I
yeah.
most certainly will never relate. To be in the skin of that poor woman.
Yeah, that's
I prefer not to speak of it further.
very unfortunate.
But have we really learned anything about the murderer?
I guess we
Obviously
learned
a
that
man,
he's
given the necessary
strong
strength.
man. We don't really know how big he is, but
At
he's
least no
definitely
more than the
strong.
police. But in my opinion, Inspector Aberline
And that
has
he's
a trick or
left-handed.
two up his sleeve. No, I want to talk about the facts and what we can draw from them.
That
We know
that
where
is the
crime was
Holmesian way,
committed
right?
And under what conditions. I would like to ask you about the possible motives for the crime. According to you, Watson, what could have pushed the murderer to act in such a way?
I mean, it seems like a crime of passion, that's for sure. Oh, geez. Okay. What could have been the possible motives of the crime? Oh, geez. This is a whole thing. Well, how do we look at this? Okay, so we can toggle these yes or no. What are these? Do these like correspond to this? So we have revenge, love, theft, madness, and black magic. The victim suffered horrible mutilations. So that would be... Oh, the victim lived in misery. Resentment can lead to irreparable acts. Huh. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so these kind of relate to you. So credible motive, even if it's a field that Sherlock doesn't know. So is this black magic?
Black magic?
I'm not terribly interested in the occult or black
Gotcha.
magic. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to this motive.
Okay, so it's like a maybe. We're basically saying, like, what can we definitely eliminate versus what we cannot eliminate yet. Black magic being one of them. Gotcha. So horrible mutilations. Is that revenge or madness? Revenge? No. Madness?
Homicidal
There we go.
insanity, Holmes.
Yeah,
It
maybe.
is indubitable that the man who did this to Polly
Yeah.
Nichols is not of his full
Madness
senses.
definitely seems like a strong possibility. I don't think you can do those kinds of murders without being a little bit off the deep end. Okay, so revenge. The victim lived in misery? Resentment, maybe? Resentment?
Revenge,
Yeah.
Holmes?
Revenge could be a possible
it could be
motive,
possible.
but with one small reservation. We have reason to believe that the victim considered her murderer to be a typical client.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense for it to be, yeah. Doesn't make a lot of sense for it to be revenge. So the victim was an occasional prostitute without family or ties. So is that theft or is that
A
love?
personal drama.
Love can certainly lead to many a drama, but we have to consider the fact that the victim
That's true,
didn't know
right.
her attacker.
You have to assume. I mean, that is a big assumption, though, because she could know her client. Okay. The victim lived in misery. Oh, so, all right. Okay, so she's
Theft.
incredibly
perhaps.
poor.
I have a hard time believing
Yeah,
that someone
doesn't make any
would
sense.
attack poor Polly
No.
so fiercely just to rob her of a few coins.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. So do we not have it correct? Is there another one here?
Elementary.
Okay, so it can't.
Very
Oh,
well,
revenge
Watson.
too, I guess.
I think that we've
Though very
exhausted the
unlikely.
topic. Take a rest and we'll
Revenge.
speak again later.
Like on her personally? Like who would? Like it seemed like everyone who knew her was accounted for.
Ah, it would seem that the investigation is advancing, Holmes. Yesterday's Star said that a suspect is in the hands of the police.
Interesting,
A man with
okay.
a rather sinister reputation.
I was about to join you in your optimistic outlook until you informed me that the good news came from
Oh,
the press,
damn.
Watson.
But surely they wouldn't invent
Holmes
the
taking
fact
no
that the police
prisoners.
are holding a suspect, or the acts that are attributed to him.
You will have an exact answer to these two questions in less
50
than
seconds.
50 seconds, Watson.
Oh, who's coming in? Yep, of
Enter,
course.
Inspector.
Yep. Who did we hear coming up the stairwell? All right, who's this?
Good day.
Looks kind of like,
Dear
but not
Watson,
exactly
allow me to introduce
Lestrade.
Inspector Aberline.
Oh, this is Aberline.
Inspector Dr.
Okay.
Watson.
Inspector?
Nice to
what do
meet
we owe
you.
the honor of your presence, Inspector?
Yeah, what brings you here?
I heard that the two of you made your way to Whitechapel a few days ago.
Oh,
Your
you know, we
arrival,
were just
you
in
are
the
aware,
neighborhood.
coincides with a very serious affair
Oh,
which our police
does
service
it
is
now?
going to
Oh,
great
we had
lengths
no
to solve,
idea.
and which is creating strong tensions in the area.
Pardon me, but haven't you arrested someone?
Yeah.
A certain leather apron.
Leather apron. Ooh.
Absolutely
That's
not.
an ominous sounding name.
The man who hides behind this name is indeed being actively searched for by the force. Besides, nothing at the moment suggests that he is the Bucks Row murderer.
There, you've been enlightened, Watson. Now it is our turn to answer Inspector Aberline's questions.
All right, what
Indeed.
questions does he have for
I will
us?
be brief and precise.
Okay.
Do you intend to investigate this case, or have you already
Oh,
started?
no.
It
We're
is to be
just
of
hanging
service
out.
to a friend that I went
No.
to Whitechapel.
We were just helping
We
someone
did,
out.
of curiosity, familiarize ourselves.
We had no
with the
idea there was any
preliminary
investigation
reports,
going on.
and
We don't
made
really
our way
read
to
the
the
news.
scene of the crime. Our conclusions are slim, as are the clues. Having not been officially appointed by a client, I believe that my intervention in this business will end there.
Ah, okay.
Very well. To be frank,
Just,
you take the weight
completely
off my
shrugging
shoulders by
off,
distancing
to
yourself
make
from
sure
the
that
case.
we're staying
Our
on the
image
DL.
isn't very good, to say nothing of what the press puts us through. Thus, if
Fair
overnight
enough.
they found out that you were on the case, people would turn against us.
Yeah, it seems like it's in
And they would
everyone's best
pest me,
interest for us
overwhelm me,
not to be
finally making
front and
out
center
to be
as the
responsible
investigation
for the
team.
inevitable failure such a scenario entails. Neither you nor I wish for
Exactly.
this to happen.
This
I
is
know that
mutually
your time is
beneficial.
Precious, Inspector. I will send you a note regarding my conclusions shortly.
Okay.
With pleasure. Gentlemen?
Do you think that he will find the murderer?
The chances are slim to non-existent.
I don't have a
It
lot
is
of
7
confidence in
days
him.
now, short of a confession from the murderer himself.
And you will not go further?
You heard the Inspector, Watson. My presence in Whitechapel would hinder, which doesn't mean that we will
Oh,
drop the case.
what do you mean by that?
How is that?
The Inspector spoke of me, but not
Oh,
of
of
us.
course.
It is
Sending
you,
Watson
who
to
will
do
lead
your
the investigation
legwork.
tonight. It is you who will bring to the police station the little note that I will write regarding our conclusions.
All right.
Despite the late hour, there is nothing to stop you from making inquiries about this famous leather
Hey,
apron
do you know,
while
interesting
you are
though,
there.
that Holmes is piqued his, or his interest is piqued by this. You control Dr. Watson. Okay, so the leather aprons. We have a new, I guess, lead, a potential suspect. All right, more about his career, his latest movements in the borough. The sense of fear which the murder of the unfortunate woman Nichols has thrown over the neighborhood, and especially over her companions, show no sign of decreasing. A number of the street wanderers are in nightly terror of Leather Apron. One of our reporters visited one of the single women's lodging houses last night. It is in Thrall Street, one of the darkest and most terrible-looking spots in Whitechapel. The house keeps open till 1 o'clock in the morning and reopens again at 5. In the house nightly are 66 women who get their bed for 4D. What is D? I'm assuming it's dollars. Like, I'm assuming that's what they're like, £4 or whatever. The proprietor of the place, who is also owner of several other houses of a similar character in the neighborhood, told some gruesome stories of the man who has now come to be regarded as the terror of the East End. Night after night, he said, had women come in fainting condition after being knocked about by Leather Apron. He himself would never be out in the neighborhood after 12 o'clock at night, except with a loaded revolver. The terror, he said, would go to a public house or coffee room and peep through the window to see if a particular woman was there. He would then vanish, lying in wait for his victim at some convenient corner, hidden from the view of everyone. The police are making efforts to arrest him, but he constantly changes his quarters. Some of the unfortunate women state that he is now in one of the low slums in the borough. One of them said she saw him crossing London Bridge as stealthy as usual, with head bent, his skimpy coat turned up about his ears, and looking as if he were in a desperate hurry. The hunt for Leather Apron began in earnest last evening. Constables 43 and 173 J Division, into whose hands Leather Apron fell on Sunday afternoon, were detailed to accompany Detective Enright of the J Division in a search through all the quarters where the crazy are we gonna have to deal with some anti-Semitism was likely to be. They began at 10:30 in Church Street in Shoreditch. Rumor having located the suspected man there. They went through the lodging houses, into pubs, down the streets, through their bull's eyes into every shadow, and searched the quarter thoroughly, but without result. The hunt continued later down in the Brick Lane neighborhood. Florentine Lane being Leather Apron's preferred lodging place lately, he was not found there. Or he's not found here. However, and the search, which then took the direction of the London hospital, resulted in nothing. It is in the general belief that the man has left the district. The clue furnished by the woman who denounced the man on Sunday is a very unfortunate one. Her offer to prove by 2 women that Leather Apron was seen walking with the murdered woman in Baker's Row at 2 o'clock last Friday morning is the most direct bit of evidence that yet has appeared. His conduct on Sunday was as usual. He never answers a question when it is put to him, and only speaks under strong compulsion. Mike, the grocer in George's Yard, dwelt a long time last evening on this peculiarity. He knows Leather Apron very well and has known him for 6 years. He says that the man is unquestionably mad, and that anyone who met him face to face would know it, that his eyes are never still, but are always shifting uneasily, and he never looks anyone in the eye. Leather Apron used to live in the lodging house around the corner from the grocery, and was turned out of there some months ago with an order not to return. The lodging house is a few doors below the model doorway in which the Turner woman was found with 39 stabs. Ooh, that is quite a coincidence if it is one. Well, I guess we're going to Whitechapel, right? Okay. So I'm assuming that's the
If I followed
case.
Holmes's instructions, then to begin my investigation into this leather apron, I must first head to the police station.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go, Watson. No time to delay. Yeah, I love how busy this area of the game is. That's a huge step up from the previous games,
I have nothing to ask.
where there's like barely people around. I mean, there's not a lot to do with these people, but they help set the setting. All right, what's up, buddy?
Good evening, sir. What do you... I know you. You were here last week with Sherlock Holmes.
Got that right, but shh, keep that on the DL, buddy.
Indeed. I have come to bring a message from Sherlock Holmes for Inspector Aberline.
Very well, I will pass it on. But come to think of it, someone was asking about you recently.
Oh.
Finley, the caretaker of some shady boarding house nearby.
Yes, it does.
Does that mean anything to you?
Ah, perhaps.
I guess we'll go say hello to him. Well, what do you know about this leather apron character?
Actually, I read in the Star that you have arrested a suspect called Leather Apron.
You shouldn't believe what you read in that rag, sir. The man is being hunted, but we have yet to get our hands on him. And we
Oh,
aren't
so he's like a
posting either.
slippery
Why
character.
ever not?
He's a specialist in the streetwalker racket. These girls make pitiful witnesses, and we don't inspire confidence.
Okay.
Furthermore,
So maybe we
the
have to
man
track him
seems
down
to be
ourselves
pretty
then.
discreet lately.
And
Someone
either
must be helping to hide him.
find the... Oh, okay, so what would you say would the best method to find him then?
How to get on his trail?
I guess we have to either
One of these
prove
girls would have to confide in
or
us and give a valid
disprove his
description of the man.
involvement.
Then we'd ask around the journeymen, who use aprons, I imagine.
Okay. Well, that's fair. Any other tip for
How
that?
to get on his trail, then?
One of these girls would have to confide
No,
in us.
no. Okay.
Well, goodbye. I must go to Finley's boarding
So I guess a big
house.
part of it is that no one wants to give a description of them, of Leather Apron, in fear of retaliation / murder. Gotcha. All right, well, let's have a chat with our boarding house fellow. How's it going, buddy? Oh, you're painting a door. Can we have a chat?
Good evening, Finley.
How's it
Oh,
going?
good evening, sir. Aren't you the gentleman who was with the great detective the other time?
That is indeed me.
You have a
Dr.
very good
Watson.
memory. All right, so what do you have to say? I guess you did tell the police that you wanted
Tell
to
me,
speak to
Finley.
us.
I was told that you were looking for us at the police station.
Indeed, I wanted to thank you for last
Oh.
time, you know. That vagrant has never set foot round mine again. I even found a tenant, one who pays his rent, I mean.
Well, ain't that nice? Even though that's not exactly the best dynamic. All right, well, who is this
You
tenant?
don't seem very happy. But you were lucky to have found a good tenant so quickly.
It's just that this man is
Oh.
very strange. He paid
How
several
so?
days in advance and I gave him a key to the place. Since then, he goes out every night and returns at ungodly hours. I'm sure he
That
goes
is
to visit
odd.
the
Why even
ladies.
get a lodging
Still,
house if you are
every
just going to be
night.
wandering around
When
every
he
night?
moved in, something must have broken in his case and stank up the stairs in his room for
Oh,
2 days.
okay.
I think it was a jar. It must be over there.
Okay. Do you know anything about this Leather Apron character?
Tell me, have you heard talk of Leather Apron?
By the papers, that's all. This man seems very sinister.
I mean, he
Do you know
does
any
seem like
journeyman
quite
who
a
uses
looming
this type of
shadow.
apron?
The slaughterhouse butchers, I believe,
Oh,
but
okay.
definitely the cobblers. I know one, old Isaac Solomonovich. His workshop is on a small street in the Jewish community, across from the
Okay,
hospital.
across from the hospital.
He's a good man. He can help you. But you know, the people there are very close and don't share much with non-Jews.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna
Thank you,
interpret that in the
At your
best way
service,
possible.
sir.
Just say that they're a tight-knit community. Okay, what do we have here?
This odor is very strong indeed. But the whole neighborhood, as such, has a dreadful stench.
Yeah, I don't know
Finley
of
might
one
have an
particular
idea as to what
stench.
this jar that contained.
will stand out in this area.
What do you want, Doctor?
This seems like a stench-filled zone. Okay, what about this strange smell?
You're right. The pieces of the jar
do you recognize it, I guess?
do give off a strange smell.
It's true. That's quite normal given his trade.
Oh, what's his trade?
Yes, and what would the trade be of your strange tenant?
A doctor, like yourself, I believe.
Oh.
Dr.
A
Tumblety.
Canadian?
A foreigner. Canadian, perhaps.
Dr. Tumblety.
Well,
Might be
well.
interesting to know more about him.
Some nefarious Canadians are afoot.
Thank you, Finley.
At your service, sir.
Okay. So I guess maybe we can go chat with the doctor then. Okay, so we have two things we can go do. Out in the other side of the district. I guess we could maybe fast travel there, right? Go to the clinic. Open the gates. Perfect. We have a little chat with you.
Good evening, Doctor. My name is Dr. Watson. Pleased to meet you.
Doctor.
I am Dr. Gibbons. Likewise.
You really have nothing else? No, you have nothing else to say. Nothing else to say. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out for this mysterious Canadian doctor. Well, at the very least, let's go have a chat with. I think this is what he means by the hospital, right? Yeah. So we're looking for...
A cobbler shop.
Ah, there, perfect. This is the exact guy we're looking for.
Closed. I will return
Solomonovich.
later. The policeman said the street girls would know something about the leather apron. Maybe I should go and see Lucy.
Lucy? Who?
Tell me, is it...
If you're looking for a princess lover,
No, I'm looking for a Lucy. Specifically. Where do we... Oh. Yes, Lucy. This Lucy.
Oh,
Gotcha.
it's you.
The captain's,
I'm
niece, right?
Dr. Watson, how are you?
How's your uncle?
Well, and yourself? And how's your uncle?
Oh, he sleeps a lot, but it doesn't seem to be sad.
Okay, I mean, that's
Your
good.
medicines work wonders. Thank you again.
That's
It was
a
the
bit of
least
good
I could
news.
do.
All right, well, what do you know about this leather apron guy?
I have come to see you about a certain leather apron. Have you heard of him?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes, terrible things are said about him, but
that man.
there's
Have
no
you ever come
evidence
across
of him yet.
Goodness gracious, no. But I know that he has threatened and taken
Okay.
many girls in my situation. I don't know what more I can say, but Bella would be able to tell you some.
All right, well, where's Bella? Who is she?
Who is Bella?
Bella Pullman. She's the landlady of the place where I could take you there if you like.
Sure, let's go. Oh,
It's me.
gotcha.
It's Lucy. This gentleman would like to speak
Yeah,
to
we
Bella.
passed by this area
It's
before.
the doctor who helped me. I must leave to return to my uncle. Thanks again.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Lucy. Oh, hello, sir.
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
I don't like the look of you.
Oh my god, I love that this is just probably one of the developers doing that voice because goddamn, like,
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
All right, sir, on my way.
like what is that? That's so funny. Love it. So endearing and cheesy.